I've been living with borderline personality disorder for over a year now, so I've been diagnosed, I think, over a year ago. But I would say I was definitely experiencing symptoms years before that. So a personality disorder is when a person's mind experiences the world differently. So negative emotions might be felt more intensely. Certain situations might be experienced differently to a typical person, and some may call it neurodivergency or a neurodivergent brain, where you can cope with the symptoms, you can get therapy, you can recover, but you as a person actually see the world differently. Like, you don't actually, you have your own, everyone has their own experience, but a neurodivergent brain is different from that. It kind of actually is wired differently, so it actually absorbs information differently. So, since I've been trying to make strides in my mental health, I feel that I am learning to not let thoughts and emotions control me. When I was born, my mother had become mentally ill, literally postpartum, so I grew up with a bit of childhood trauma, and it kind of resulted into like a negative self-image, and I kind of realised that I accept that as it is, and it's then a lot easier to accept myself. Although I had my own challenges, I am grateful that at 23 I have a thirst to know the world and myself on such a deep level, and that takes courage. I find aging a scary topic, to be frank. No one sits you down and makes you think about what it means, because it could be that it's one of those things I never want to accept, the reality that time is passing, that I will grow old. Although I have had a lot of experiences, different experiences at a young age, I don't feel younger than I am at all. If anything, I feel 10 years older. That's the weird thing, because you don't necessarily feel you thought you'd feel or be thinking about what you're thinking about during 23 when you were 5, for example. You don't usually think you'd be divorced or in a lockdown, for that matter. In the end, though, no matter what you hold on to, whether it is a thought or a feeling, an event or a trauma, none of that matters in the face of who you are. This comes from someone who has spent a lot of time in survival mode. Spending time in survival mode is the idea that you need to deal with everything before you deal with your needs. Dangerous, yes. Being on survival mode all the time is not right. I realise that I put so much pressure on external things because I don't believe in all the positives that I am. This means I spend time looking for validation. I live walking around basically saying define me instead of believing in the truth of who I am and leaving everything else where they are. But well, for me to see these things, that must be a good thing, right? So, drowning in self-doubt. Should I or shouldn't I? When we try to incorporate new habits, it is normal that we can be flooded with self-doubt, questioning whether what we are doing is right merely because of the fact that we've done it before. I believe that our brain only wants to survive, so this means that we do what we can to survive. Anything else takes a series of uncomfortable feelings as we grapple with the pain of change. Nothing changes overnight, and that gives us room to stop what we are doing and argue ourselves out of it. In these moments, we have to remember what matters. Then we can remember why we got to this point in the first place. I think there is a stigma about change being linear, and if you don't do it perfectly, then you are not doing it at all. I have observed that change is literally further from this than I had thought. Change and recovery is a series of ups and downs, relapses and bad decisions. There shouldn't be shame around this, but of course there is, and sometimes that shame stops us from doing anything at all. I have carried a lot of shame throughout my life, shame about my body, or shame about who I really am. Shame that forces us at a young age to place ourselves inside in a safe, locked away place for later years when we face stress and begin to face a part of ourselves that we had buried so deep it has come out to say hello. This is true when growing up, and in certain, scenarios. And I feel as though, as a woman as well, having these battles exists in its own forms. I have come to terms with some realizations in the last few days, and that is how much time I spend feeling bad for myself. I'm sure that it sometimes can run my life, and to the point where it goes beyond some of the limits needed. I don't think it's necessarily wrong to feel bad about things, but it is kind of destructive and doesn't actually do anything or serve you when you are trying to heal. I think that thinking positively can help. My thoughts about this are that I can continue no longer to feel sorry for myself as much as I do. When you begin to challenge these thoughts, you become to realise that what is left in front of you is the clarity of acceptance. Accepting yourself can be rewarded with an interest of a deeper relationship with yourself that can feel, well, rewarding. It is almost like you don't need to change anything anymore. You sort of accept the present moment and surrender that your creator knows best. No ideals, no fantasies matter when it comes to managing these facts. I recognise now how important feeling safe or having a safe space is when you take the time to walk in the journey to self-acceptance. Your body calms down when you are safe, and you become a lot more able to accept life rather than fight, deny and wrestle with what you can't change, or what currently exists and what will take time to change. Who are you without these faults, hardships, difficulties and struggles? Accept them as you accept you.